Hey, we know how hectic your schedules are, so don't worry. We got you. Here are some of the gaming news you may have missed last week. It has been a while since we've heard anything official from the much-awaited sequel for Marvel's Spider-Man. Let's just say fans are getting a little antsy. Insomniac had a very simple but meaty response to everyone's impatience, stating, "We're in the kitchen, it smells good in there, we just ask for a little more patience." Patient fans have shown support for Insomniac's current pace, and so do we. We can definitely see the smoke coming from the kitchen as past news about the upcoming sequel gives hope for an announcement soon. Despite the lack of info or trailers, Insomniac is pushing for a 2023 release as seen in their tweets. Venom voice actor Tony Todd also recently talked about the possible release date for the sequel in a now-deleted tweet. Coincidence? I think not! If you can't see this tweet anymore, then there's definitely something up. Whatever Insomniac is cooking, we'll be gobbling it up for sure. Speaking of our friendly neighborhood webhead, Sony recently, and quietly, upped the price for the PC remaster along with its sequel Miles Morales, Horizon Zero Dawn, Days Gone, and 2018's God of War in several regions. The inflated prices affected Argentina, Canada, Chile, China, Colombia, Japan, and South Korea. A user from Reset Era pointed out that Sackboy, A Big Adventure, and Returnal cost a lot more in the regions mentioned. On average, the increase ranges from roughly 6% to 10%, but boy did Argentina get the short end of the stick with a whopping 60% increase. Sony has yet to officially announce this hike, but fans are just not having it. Capcom has a lot going on this year. RE4 had a successful launch, and now their attention is all on Street Fighter, with their latest showcase hosted by Lil Wayne. Capcom presented a ton of features in the 30-minute showcase focused on World Tour, Battle Hub, and Fighting Ground. World Tour allows players to customize their own character, complete with gear customization to improve stats and appearance. Hit those streets and kick some ass with this immersive single-player mode. If you want a bit of a challenge, visit the Battle Hub to socialize and fight other players from across the globe, or reminisce about the good old days and play classic retro Street Fighter titles. In Fighting Ground, select your fighter and learn their varied movesets, play arcade mode, or play locally with your friends in the tried and tested versus mode. This was a lot to take in, and there's a whole lot more we didn't share in 30 minutes worth of content. After the presentation, Capcom also announced a demo for Street Fighter 6. PlayStation 4 and 5 users can now test out the game. Fans are jumping for joy praising the game's graphics, accessible controls, and the game's single-player mode. Fret not Xbox and PC users, cause you can play the demo today. For an even bigger treat, Capcom announced 4 DLC fighters in Year 1. Aki, Rashid, Ed, and Akuma will be joining in on the fight as the seasons roll in. The majority of the fans are on board with this current roster, but aren't too happy with the release dates. Regardless, people are genuinely excited for their favorite characters to appear. Everything is set for us to take back Redfall. IGN recently got a chance to play the much-awaited vampire shooter, and they have nothing but great things to say about it. One thing's for sure, Arcane Austin promised a massive game, and they most certainly delivered. IGN confirmed that there is plenty to see and plenty to do once you enter the town. Liberate sections of the island by taking on massive vampire nests and their mercenaries to expand the survivor base. According to IGN, there is a great emphasis on working with people both in gameplay and narrative. There is a sense of community as you slowly free the town from its undead captors. One example they brought up is that money is worthless. Players instead earn support by finding useful items like dolls, wedding rings, or toilet paper. Have these people ever heard of Tabo? Yikes. Anyway, staying together is important as it will help your team complete missions and survive encounters. The more trust is built both in and out of the game, the more players will feel the dynamic of the team's personalities and abilities. IGN also reported that even though they played on max difficulty, Redfall didn't feel much of a challenge. This is something that the devs continue to play with, especially after reporting some bugs in-game. What's cool is that Arcane Austin is completely on top of things, as they mentioned they will frequent the Redfall community to improve everyone's gaming experience. We cannot stress enough how excited we are with this game. Not only are we invested in the lore they've created, but it sure sounds like Redfall is going to be one hell of a co-op game. Tango Gameworks surprised everyone during Microsoft's Developer Direct back in January by releasing the rhythm-based action game Hi-Fi Rush. Everybody loved the game, praising its amazing graphics, terrific soundtrack, and engaging storyline. Despite the universal praise, however, Jeff Grubb of the Game Mess Decides podcast stated that the critically acclaimed game failed to hit the internal expectations set by Microsoft. He stated, based on what I've heard, it just straight up didn't make the money it needed to make. It's a shame really, because we here at Game8 had an excellent time playing the game. Sadly though, it is what it is. The game continues to receive positive praise on Steam, so who knows? Hi-Fi Rush could still prove everyone at Microsoft wrong. The first season of HBO's The Last of Us recently concluded last March, and fans of the beloved show are excited to know how the second season's gonna go. Please stop! We're sure things will be alright. The adaptation was praised by both the fans and the general audience, but they were a little disappointed with the lack of infected in the show. Fans have a theory that this is most likely due to budget constraints and to ensure the story remains focused. Luckily though, showrunner Neil Druckmann mentioned that the second season aims to remedy this. In the Kinda Funny podcast, Druckmann confirmed there will be more infected to make Joel and Ellie's lives a lot tougher, stating, "I am very excited for the stuff we have planned for the second season, especially for people that wanted more infected, well, just get ready." He added that both the story and gameplay of The Last of Us Part 2 were more ambitious than the first game, and with the success of the first season, it affords Druckmann a bigger budget and more time. Druckmann also confirmed that The Last of Us Part 2 will most likely be more than one season, meaning there will be opportunities for more thrilling sequences with the infected. To round out our news, Deadline recently reported that famous content creator Markiplier is set to direct, produce, and star in the adaptation of the first-person horror immersion game Iron Lung based on his own script. He is joined by Will Hyde and Jeff Guerrero in producing the film, and by Caroline Rose Kaplan, who will star opposite Markiplier. We don't know much about the movie, other than it's based on the game of the same name. But if it involves a gamer who is extremely passionate about the title, then we are all on board. Lots of amazing news for us this week, and it ain't even over. There is surely more to come. Subscribe to our channel to get the latest news and more content. Or join our ever-growing community on Twitter for some friendly game-related discussions. This is Game8 Information Station, and we'll see you in the next one. Peace!